Okay everybody, I wanted to talk just about rhinestone templates and try to answer some questions that we get a lot, specifically on rhinestone templates. So if you're new to rhinestones, the rhinestone template is what makes it really easy to actually make rhinestone transfers. You can use the rhinestone transfers for decals, or you can use the rhinestone transfers for fabrics or pressing onto a hard surface. Pretty much anything that you can heat press, or you can use your rhinestone transfers for. Okay, so when it comes to the actual templates, okay, one of the big questions is how to make the templates. You're gonna have to have a special software that actually has the ability to make rhinestone templates if you want to make your own. If you have a Silhouette has the ability to make rhinestone templates. It's super easy, just takes a couple clicks and then you have a rhinestone template. So if you have a Silhouette, you're good to go. If you have a Cricut software does not have the ability to make rhinestone templates already in the software. So you'll have to use an external software to make rhinestone templates yourself to use on your Cricut. Think of rhinestone templates just like SVGs. So all you're doing is making an SVG, but what happens with the rhinestone templates is these circles are a certain size that lets your rhinestone sit perfectly in there, so that when you're brushing it, it's nice and easy and it sits into those circles. So you need a software that can do that, and also it's nice to have a software made for rhinestones because it can actually count how many stones your design requires. Okay, so it'll tell you how many stones this is, how many stones that is, so on and so forth. So if you have a Cricut, two good options to make your own rhinestone templates if you want to design your own is Sure Cuts a Lot or buying Silhouette Studio. You will need the business edition for Cricut because the business edition is what you need to be able to save as an SVG. So in order to use on your Cricut, you need the business edition so you can make your rhinestone template. Then all you do is you save as a SVG and then open in your Cricut software to cut. So the Cricut has no trouble cutting the rhinestone templates, and neither does Silhouette. You can cut the rhinestone templates on any vinyl cutter. But if you actually want to make the designs yourself, you will need a software that can do that. So Silhouette Studio is the one that I recommend for the best price and it does a really good job. These were all made with Silhouette Studio Business Edition. Okay, so rhinestone templates. This is one. Okay, this is what they look like after they're cut. They're kind of hard to see. Okay, so rhinestone templates can be purchased on Etsy. There's a lot of places online that sell rhinestone templates. It's just a digital download. You can purchase it and you can cut it just like you would a normal SVG file. The thing you have to be aware of for rhinestone templates is you cannot resize them. So anytime you're buying a rhinestone template, you need to pay attention to two things. One, the size of the template, because you can't resize it. If you resize it, the circles for your stones will be off. So it'll tell you, anytime you're looking at rhinestone templates, it'll tell you the size of the design to make sure it works for your project. The other thing it'll tell you is the size of stones it uses. Most rhinestone templates will use SS10 stones, but sometimes they'll use a variety like SS10 and SS6 and SS12. Sometimes it's all the same. And then it also will tell you your stone count, how many stones it requires for that particular template. So those are just three things you want to pay attention to anytime you're buying rhinestone templates to download to cut yourself. If you're designing them yourself, then you can pick your stone size, the size that your design is, all of that as you're designing it. So what you do, so this is a rhinestone template that was cut on a Silhouette. And after it's cut, all you need to do is get, the part that's important is this part. These little circles are not important. You do not need these. So we are just weeding out, and any circles that try to come, we're just going to stick those back. Okay. All right. So this is actually a letter E. And then here's another one. Let's see. Okay, Now that we have all of that weeded out, this part is garbage. We don't need this. Okay, and so what we have here are several letters, which a lot of places will sell the entire alphabet. You can cut the entire alphabet. We're going to have several different alphabets on the website soon. We'll slowly add rhinestone templates for you to download if you don't want to design your own. If you are designing your own, just make sure you're aware that you never want any of the circles to overlap, and you don't want this space too tiny because then your template will break. Okay? So what we have here is Z, I, and if you notice the height of these are all the same, it helps you to be able to line it up and know that you're going to have a nice straight outcome. Okay. The amazing thing about Rhinestone template, the flocked one, is it can be layered, and then of course you can reuse these templates again and again and again and again. So once you cut your entire alphabet, you don't have to recut the entire alphabet every time you need another letter. Ooh, we got lucky. Okay, so here's our template. So what you do from here is you just simply brush your rhinestones in, okay? So if we want to do all the same color, we can. If we want to do individual colors, we can. If you're going to do each letter a different color, I recommend only working out one at a time and do that hinge method that I showed in the other video. So for instance, we would do our Z, fill it, do our hinge method, put our I, remove the Z. That way you don't have rhinestones accidentally going into the other letters. So you only have to work on one letter at a time. So from here, you'll pour your rhinestones on, and then you'll brush them in like we did in the other video. So I hope that answers any questions about actual rhinestone templates and how to make them, how to obtain them. So just to quickly recap, you cannot resize your rhinestone template. So once you open it in your software, whatever size that whoever made it says it needs to be, that's the size it needs to be. Because if you resize it, these holes will get larger or smaller, and then your rhinestones won't seat in them properly, and then it won't work. And then the other thing to pay attention to is the size of the stones needed, and then also the quantity. So that way you know how to price your decals or your work. If it takes 1,000 stones, it should cost more than something that takes 100 stones, or so on and so forth. And then again, as far as software, if you want to make your own rhinestone templates, I highly recommend Silhouette Designer Edition. Business Edition if you have a Cricut. If you have a Silhouette, then you're good with the Designer Edition. So again, thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night or morning, whatever time of the day it is for you. And I will see you next time.